As I said at the beginning, we were going to give out 3 awards. The last was a surprise. And for that, I'd like to introduce Bob Walsh, Senior Vice President of the ERA. Robert.
Thank you. Tonight, on behalf of ERA, I have the high privilege of presenting our association's Key Award, one of our longest-standing and most prestigious forms of recognition and appreciation. This award is not given out annually, and there is no specific timetable. It is presented only when the individual member has demonstrated constant, outstanding, and above and beyond effort on behalf of ERA, the professional sales function, and our industry. Our 2008 Key Award recipient far surpasses all this criteria. He was a founding member of the past chair of the Manufacturers Advisory Committee. He has served on every ERA program committee since the early 1990s. He has eagerly contributed his experience and expertise to advise our manufacturers and enthusiastically encourages all of his reps and manufacturers' peers to support our association. But here is the supreme compliment. His field sales representatives, and I am happy and lucky to be one of them, consider him not only the emotional favorite, but a friend, an advocate, and sometimes even a father figure. It is my honor to announce the 2008 ERA Key Award is being presented to Dick Neumann, the Vice President of Sales and Marketing of Gray Hill Incorporated. Dick, stand, but please, Dick, hold on. Dick, will you hold up for a second? There's one more surprise. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. Before Dick comes to the stage, we have one other surprise. A special guest has flown in this afternoon to be here for this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the president of Gray Hill Incorporated, Mr. Brian May. Brian, will you show Dick up to the stage?
Welcome all the reps and manufacturers here tonight to be part of this. Thank you for inviting me out. I'm thrilled to be here. I'd also like to welcome in and thanks for joining us to some very special guests. Carolyn Neumann, Dick's wife, and his 3 kids, Dan, John, and Nancy, are watching us via live video, streaming out to their home. And I know we have also some Gray Hill folks back at home that are watching this live too. So got a pretty big audience here, Dick. So thank you all for coming out to celebrate this special night for Dick and his family. I feel privileged to introduce to you a man that I've known for about 25 years, a little more, and a guy that, like a lot of you, I feel is one of my real mentors in life. So it's my privilege to be here. But before I introduce him, I'd like to say a few words about Dick, if you don't mind. All right? A couple of days ago, I was sitting in my office trying to think what I would say to you all tonight, and I started flipping through the conference brochure for this conference, and I ran across a seminar. It's going to take place tomorrow morning at 9:45. It kind of caught my eye. It's a Dr. Daniel McQuiston, professor from Butler University. Is he here tonight? Good, because I take issue with some of his premises. The professor, if I understand his premise right, thinks that he can look at a person and tell whether or not they're going to make a good salesperson by something he calls their emotional intelligence. Well, with all due respect to the professor, I've known Dick for a while, and emotional intelligence would not be something that I would score very high on. But it did get me to thinking about Dick and what makes him so great at what he does, and what it is that makes him tick. So it dawned on me that at Gray Hill, if you're a candidate for a management position, we make you go through a psychological assessment. So I have violated some Gray Hill confidentiality rules because I went and got a copy of Dick's psychological assessment. You don't mind that? You're changed. But in all seriousness, there are some traits that I think define Dick and define all great salespeople. So I started reading through this report with great interest. Some parts were amusing, but most of it was pretty right on. The first section talked about how smart he is. He's astute. They use words like astute mental awareness, superior intelligence, remarkably strong and precise critical thinking. So those of you in the audience like me who've tried to BS them before and slide through with half an answer or try to get away with something, you know you're going to have to get up pretty early in the morning because he's a pretty sharp cookie. The next section that I looked at talked about how he's self-confident, prideful, and has a self-projecting manner. In other words, he's cocky. The next part of the report talks about something we've all experienced. It's his caring and his loyalty. The report talks about his human empathy for others' personal problems and his strong relationship built on trust. For those of you in the audience who are Gray Hill reps, you need to rely on that relationship and trust, because I have seen him fire all of you at least 100 times. And it's that relationship that keeps you as a Gray Hill representative. But there is no doubt this guy is loyal and caring. The next section talked about how fair and ethical he is. It goes so far as to say that he's the type of person that would put his job on the line if he thought there was a violation of business ethics. I believe he would.